Look at the configuration section. Let's go to System, Settings, Store Settings, and let's look at the Global Options. Let's use our supervisor or manager login. Okay. Now here's where you set the minimum age, cash store beginning amount, maximum amounts, sales tax rate, and cost code. For a cost code, if you would like to use that so where you can tell how much money you have in the merchandise from looking at the item label, you can use that and it will be on the inventory item. Just substitute 0 through 9 for whatever you type in this box, and that will work as long as you don't have any duplicates. Okay, let's click on the Forms tab, and this is where you select your printed forms. If you don't see one for your state, please call technical support and we'll be glad to fix you up. This is the number of copies here to the right, and these little check boxes here go with the label here. Okay, this is where you enable the barcodes. This option here, the type number, what that is essentially it gives a unique number group for each type of item. Say you have a ticket that is a pawn. All your pawns will run sequential. All your extensions will run sequential. All your layaways will run it sequential. This just keeps your numbering separated for the type of transaction. You can enable that to use the type number, or there is a global transaction ID assigned with each transaction that it will use in place of that if it's not checked. This is the transaction detail report that it will print at the close of the business day. Cash Advantage is designed to open a business day when you come in the morning. Then you can create a cash drawer session within the business day. If you have multiple cash drawers, each drawer would have its own session or multiple session thereof, and they would have a start and an end cash amount. And once you close the drawer session, it prints a report for that session. Now, all of the drawer sessions on a given day have to be closed prior to closing the business day. But once you close the business day, it prints all of your daily reports. And this option here is for the transaction detail and the police report. It's the option for printing just one label for jewelry pawns, where if you want to put them within the same envelope, you can just use one label. This option here will print the labels during the pull. If you leave it unchecked, it just prices it and moves it to inventory. If you check it, it prints a label for each item that you pull. And then that's standard labels and jewelry labels. Then we've got the online store interface. You can enable that, set up your database connection and your FTP server, and that will enable you to list your merchandise on your company website. If you have multiple stores, you can have them all integrated within one website, so where you can have all of your inventory in one location for browsability. Third-party interfaces. This is where we use the merchant services. We've got several different payment providers that you can use. Authorize.net, PaymentsGateway.net is what we recommend, or PayTrace. Enable that. Teletrack Consumer Reporting Agency, and then you got a police report export format that you can use. There's several formats there. and if you have a specific format you need in your area, we can do that for you. So those are the global options. Now the global options will be used on every workstation within a given store number. Alright, let's look back at settings, store settings, and the transaction rules. These are our manager password. Okay, this is where we select the type of transaction. Notice we've got a vendor buy which has no grace period, no term. The default buy has a 15-day grace period, which this is where you would set for your police hold, the number of days that you're required in your state to hold the merchandise prior to selling it. And consignment, set that with a hold date as well. Okay. Now let's pick a pawn, and we're going to do the default pawn transaction type. It has 30 days with a 30-day grace period. When payments are made early, it does this. You got early extensions and early payoffs. Alright. Now you've got an option for within the grace period. So early would be prior to the due date. Within the grace period would be after the due date, but before the grace date. And then you've got after the grace period. So you've got all these different options on how you would like to charge, and then you've also got the complex rules. So you can configure this to whatever your state requires. If you have problems, just call technical support and we will show you how to configure it to your state specification. Okay, now once you pick the type and change the information, you have to hit OK, or you can hit apply and go back and change another type. Please remember that you have to pick a type and a style. Alright, let's close that out. Let's go back to System and let's do the employee setup. Use our manager login. Okay, this is how you set up employee access control. Now, have a lot of flexibility with Cash Advantage as far as what you want them to be able to do. If you want to set up a new customer, you hit new. I mean a new employee, hit new. Type in their name and all their information. Now, once you do that, you can give them access to what you want them to have access to. Just going to cancel this. Okay. Let's go to workstation settings. Let's look at the workstation setup. Okay, each workstation, of course, is assigned to a store and a cash drawer. It has a unique workstation ID. Now this is how you enable some more of your hardware. You've got cash drawer, COM port, check reader, COM port, USB devices. You got your fingerprint reader, your magnetic strip reader, your electronic signature capture pad, and your ID scanner with OCR. Now, if you have any of these devices, you can just check the box and it will enable support for them, and just set the COM ports if you have these serial devices. Click OK when you're done. Let's look at the printer setup. You can pick the type of form, change the type of printer, and you can pick them, change them, pick the next one, change it, pick the next one, change it, and then hit OK to all of them at the same time without having to hit OK in between each one. Just about concludes this setup. We've got reports over here that you can pull. This is your level 1 reporting area. This is the level 2 reporting area, and this is the level 3 reporting area. You'll see those specified in your employee setup, your access permissions. So just remember, this is level 1, this is level 2, this is level 3 reporting.